Have you ever wondered why a careless word, an unthinking act, or even a fleeting glance can stir anger within you? Why do we let our emotions be controlled by trivial things, insignificant people, or events beyond our reach? Anger, like a smoldering flame, doesn't just burn our relationships, but also consumes the peace within us. But what if I told you there's a secret, a timeless one, that can extinguish that flame before it spreads? A secret rooted in Stoic philosophy, practiced by emperors and great thinkers alike, enabling them to find tranquility in the midst of chaos. This is more than just a lesson. It's a journey to transform the way you engage with the world. Every idea I'm about to share has been tested and proven, and now I'm handing these pieces of wisdom to you. Listen closely, because each moment holds a valuable key. If you're ready to unlock the freedom from anger, don't miss a single word. Are you prepared? Let's begin this discovery together. Number 1. Stop judging. Start understanding. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, where does anger usually begin? Most of the time, it stems from judgment. When you judge someone, a colleague, a family member, or even a stranger, you're imposing your own standards onto them, standards they might not even know exist or feel any obligation to meet. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, teaches us that this habit of judgment is a significant barrier to inner peace. Stoicism encourages us to replace judgment with understanding. This doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but approaching it with greater objectivity, placing ourselves in others' shoes to see why they acted as they did. Judgment is simple but dangerous. It's like wearing distorted glasses. Every word and action from others gets warped by our biases and expectations. Understanding, on the other hand, is the act of removing those glasses, seeing people and situations with clarity and compassion. Let's apply this to a real-life scenario. Imagine a friend cancels plans at the last minute. If you judge them, you might think, this person is so irresponsible and doesn't respect my time. But if you choose to understand, you'd ask yourself, maybe they're dealing with something I don't know about. This shift not only diffuses your anger, but also opens the door to deeper communication and connection. Countless relationships have been ruined because people chose judgment over understanding. Do we ever truly know the silent struggles others face? Marcus Aurelius reminds us in Meditations, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? Before criticizing someone, ask yourself, have I ever made the same mistake? This question acts like a mirror, forcing us to reflect on our own flaws and reminding us of our shared imperfections. The beauty of letting go of judgment is that it not only frees us from anger, but also creates room for compassion to grow. Instead of letting resentment eat away at your soul, you plant seeds of understanding that enrich your relationships with others. Imagine a world where everyone chose to understand rather than judge. How many unnecessary conflicts could be avoided? How many connections could flourish? So why do we judge? Is it because it's easier to spot others' flaws than our own? Or because judgment gives us a fleeting sense of superiority, as if we're better or more right than others? But ask yourself, how long does that feeling last? Does it truly make you happier? Or does it only deepen the distance between you and others? The lessons of Stoicism go beyond merely managing anger. They're about becoming the best version of yourself. Choosing understanding over judgment doesn't just help you avoid anger, it liberates your mind. When you stop judging, you begin to see that everyone is fighting their own battles, and what they need isn't criticism, but empathy. Next time you feel irritation creeping in because of someone's actions, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, do I truly understand them? Is there something I'm judging that I could choose to understand instead? This is the first step toward breaking the cycle of anger. When we choose understanding over judgment, we not only free ourselves from negative emotions, but also unlock the doors to empathy, harmony, and kindness. Remember, true peace doesn't come from changing others, it comes from changing how we choose to see them. And that is the hidden secret to never getting angry with anyone. Number 2, accept the world as it is. We can only truly find peace when we learn to accept the world as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. This is one of the greatest secrets to never being angry with anyone. If you refuse to accept reality, you will always find yourself in conflict with both yourself and the world around you. However, once you acknowledge that imperfection is an inherent part of life, you will free yourself from the shackles of expectations and negative emotions. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that trying to change what is beyond our control is the root of suffering. Epictetus once said, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." He meant that it is our subjective evaluations and unrealistic expectations of the world that lead to dissatisfaction, not the world itself. We often become frustrated when things do not go our way, from how someone treats us to the injustices in society. But the truth is, the world does not operate to please us, it simply is. Imperfection is not an exception, it is the rule. Imagine a familiar scenario. You are stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. What happens? Most of us would feel angry, frustrated, or even hopeless. However, the traffic jam itself is not the real cause of your anger. Rather, it is your expectation that traffic should always be smooth, an entirely unrealistic assumption that leads to your irritation. If you understand that traffic congestion is inevitable and beyond your control, you can prepare better, perhaps by leaving earlier or at least maintaining a sense of calm in the face of the situation. The question is, why do we struggle to accept the world's imperfections from the start? Is it because we always expect everything to align with our desires? If so, can you see that such expectations are the true source of negative emotions in life? Stoicism teaches that accepting reality is not a passive or weak act. Instead, it allows us to focus our energy on what we can control: ourselves, our thoughts, and our responses. True strength lies in recognizing that while the world is imperfect, our minds can achieve peace within the chaos. When you understand that the world has no obligation to conform to your expectations, you will stop clinging to unrealistic desires. And as those expectations fade, so will your anger. Ask yourself, do you really want to waste your precious time and energy being angry over things that will never change? Or would you rather learn to let go and focus on what truly matters? The world is imperfect, but it is precisely this imperfection that makes it beautiful and valuable. Think about the people you love. None of them are perfect, yet you cherish them for who they are, don't you? Accepting the world's imperfections does not mean giving up on self-improvement or social progress. On the contrary, it enables you to see things more clearly and act with reason and compassion rather than being driven by anger. When you embrace the world as it is, you also learn to accept yourself with all your flaws and mistakes. This acceptance brings not only inner peace, but also a more authentic and fulfilling life. Finally, I want to affirm that accepting the world's imperfections is the key to freeing yourself from the burden of negative emotions. It will not only prevent you from ever being angry with anyone, but will also open the door to a life of freedom, peace, and happiness. Let the lessons of Stoicism be your guiding light, allowing you to smile at the world, even in its imperfection. After all, it is precisely this imperfection that allows us to grow. Once you understand that imperfection is an inevitable part of the world, you will realize that some things are beyond your control. At this point, the question arises, how do we let go of the pressure to control everything? Let us continue exploring the next lesson from Stoicism to find the answer. Number 3. Release the need for control. Anger, at its core, is a form of control. We get angry because we want the world to conform to our expectations. But have you ever realized that in trying to control the uncontrollable, you not only hurt yourself, but also become trapped in the very chains you create? Stoic philosophy teaches us not only how to let go of control, but also how to turn this act into an art of graceful living. Epictetus once said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us." The ability to clearly distinguish between what is within our control and what isn't is the foundation of inner peace. If you believe everything must go your way, you are placing an unnecessary burden on your shoulders. When things don't go as planned, from minor criticism to a broken relationship, you may feel helpless and angry because you're trying to change something beyond your power. But consider a different perspective. Why not focus on what you can control, such as your reactions and thoughts? Letting go of what you cannot control is not only a form of liberation, but also a sign of true strength. Deep down, the need for control stems from fear. Fear of not being respected, fear of things going wrong, fear that chaos will ensue if we don't intervene. Yet, ironically, the more you try to control, the more chaos you create. Think of a friend who always tries to manage everything in their life: work, family, friendships. Are they truly happy? Or are they constantly stressed and easily frustrated? Interestingly, even the most powerful figures, kings and leaders, cannot control everything. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Roman emperor, wrote in Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." He reminded himself that even his own life was not entirely in his control. So why do we insist on controlling the small things? Do you think letting go is a sign of weakness? Think again. Letting go is not surrender. It is an acknowledgement of the natural limits we cannot surpass. It takes courage. It takes confidence to say, "I will focus on what I truly own, my thoughts, my emotions, my actions, and let the world unfold as it will." Imagine holding onto a kite string as the wind grows stronger, pulling it away from you. You grip it tightly, but that only makes your hands burn with pain. The wind won't stop just because you want it to. Only when you decide to let go will you free yourself from the pain and allow the wind to carry the kite away. The world works the same way. Some things will never submit to your control. Instead, you must learn to let go at the right moment. Are you trying to control something in your life? A relationship, a work outcome, or even how others perceive you? Have you ever wondered if letting things take their natural course might bring you more peace? Let me tell you this. True freedom lies in letting go of what doesn't belong to you. When you stop clinging, you'll realize the world doesn't fall apart. Instead, you'll feel a sense of relief, tranquility, and, more importantly, you'll discover that you're far stronger than you ever imagined. Letting go doesn't just help you avoid anger. It opens your perspective and allows you to live a more meaningful life. So why not try it today? Let go and truly live. Have you ever experienced the immense relief of letting something go? That feeling when the world suddenly feels lighter and your heart more at ease. If you have, share that moment. It could be an inspiration to someone out there. And if you haven't been able to let go yet, what is holding you back? Share your thoughts, because sometimes simply voicing them can be the first step in your journey to letting go and finding peace. Number 4, go with life's flow. Have you ever felt like you're swimming against the current, exhausted yet not making any real progress? We often spend our entire lives trying to control everything, from work and relationships to trivial things like the weather or other people's attitudes. But the truth is, life isn't a chess game where you can dictate every move. It's an ever-flowing river that waits for no one and prioritizes nothing. Embracing this flow doesn't mean surrendering. Rather, it holds the key to never being angry with anyone. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The reality is, we can't control others, but we can control ourselves. Think of it like playing a video game. You can't control every event in the game, but you have complete control over how you respond. When unexpected situations arise, like someone unfairly criticizing you or your plans falling apart, you have two choices: fight a futile battle or adapt and move forward. However, most of us choose to fight against reality. We complain, get angry, and try to fix things beyond our reach, only to end up exhausted and disappointed. The sad truth is that when we resist the natural flow of life, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. Accepting life's flow means becoming a spiritual surfer, not stubbornly charging into the big waves in an attempt to control them, but adjusting your mindset to enjoy the ride. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Obstacles are not enemies, they are the path. When someone does something that angers you, remember that they are simply part of this current, a factor beyond your control. Instead of feeling irritated when others do things you dislike, see them as small waves in the vast ocean of life. Waves come, you can't stop them, but you can ride them with serenity. Ask yourself, will this still bother me tomorrow, next week, or a year from now? If the answer is no, then why let it steal your peace today? You can start with simple everyday situations. Imagine you're waiting in a long checkout line, and the person ahead of you is moving slowly, seemingly unaware of others. Instead of getting frustrated and letting irritation take over, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is part of life's flow, not my problem. Or when you're stuck in a tedious meeting, rather than feeling agitated, see it as an opportunity to practice patience and self-control. Acceptance doesn't mean indifference. It means understanding that you can only control how you feel and react. Once you let go of the unrealistic expectations of controlling external things, you'll find yourself feeling lighter and freer. Ask yourself, if I could let go of all unrealistic expectations about the world, people, and myself, would I feel better? When you choose to embrace life's flow, you're not just managing anger, you're taking steps toward true inner peace. Life will always be full of surprises. There will be sunny days and unexpected storms. But instead of being swept away by the uncontrollable currents, you can learn to dance with the waves. And when you do, you'll never let anger overshadow your joy again. Set your mind free, embrace the flow of life, and you will never be angry with anyone again. Now, I want to congratulate you. You've already made it halfway through the journey of discovering the secret to never being angry with anyone. Be proud of your patience and determination, because understanding and applying Stoic philosophy requires persistence and inner calm. Each principle in this video is an essential piece of the bigger picture. Without any of them, you might miss the opportunity to truly master your emotions. So, stay tuned until the end, as the upcoming sections will provide deeper insights and practical strategies for you to apply in your life. Number 5. Own your emotions. You cannot control what others say or do, but you can control how you respond. This is one of the core principles of Stoic philosophy and the key to never being angry with anyone. When you realize that your emotions are entirely within your control, you experience an incredible sense of freedom, a state where no one can disturb or influence you except yourself. Epictetus once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." This means that your anger does not stem from the actions of others, but from how you allow those actions to affect you. Anger is not something imposed upon you, it is a choice. Unfortunately, we often choose anger unconsciously, forgetting that we have the power to control it. Imagine walking down the street and someone shouts an insult at you. Your initial reaction might be outrage, feeling offended or hurt. But pause and reflect. Does that remark truly harm you? Or is it your mind's interpretation that creates the pain? If a stranger insults you in a language you don't understand, would you feel offended? Of course not. This shows that anger is not an inevitable response, but rather a decision you make within yourself. Taking responsibility for your emotions does not mean suppressing them or denying reality. It means being mindful, recognizing what truly deserves your attention and what does not. It requires understanding that emotions are the result of thoughts, not circumstances. A simple yet profound truth: no one can make you feel angry, sad, or disappointed unless you allow it. So how can you practice taking responsibility for your emotions in daily life? First, pause and listen to your emotions instead of reacting impulsively. When a negative feeling arises, ask yourself, what is truly causing this feeling? Am I exaggerating the situation? Imagine emotions as clouds drifting across the sky. They come and go, but you are the sky, vast and unaffected by them. When you take a moment to reflect, you will realize that often anger does not stem from reality, but from expectations and assumptions you have unconsciously imposed on a situation. Try reframing your thoughts, turning negative self-talk into positive affirmations. Instead of thinking, "This person is making me angry," remind yourself, "I feel frustrated because I expected something different from them." This way, you reclaim control rather than handing it over to others. Equally important is focusing on what you can control. You cannot control how others speak or behave, but you can control how you receive it. Remember, your inner peace should not be disturbed by external factors unless you allow it. Do not let the actions of others dictate your mood. Instead, choose to respond with awareness and resilience. And finally, practice compassion. We all have moments of weakness and bad days. Sometimes, people's actions reflect their inner struggles rather than being a reflection of you. When you choose compassion, you not only free others from judgment, but also liberate yourself from unnecessary negativity. Let compassion be a gift you give yourself daily, keeping your soul light and at peace. True freedom does not come from controlling the outside world, but from mastering yourself. When you take responsibility for your emotions, you not only learn to manage anger, but also cultivate an unshakable inner peace, a peace that no one can take away from you. The next time you feel anger rising, remember that you have a choice. You can let it take over, or you can pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that you are in control of your emotions. So, what will you choose? Will you let emotions control you, or will you become the master of yourself? Number 6. Stay calm, don't react. In a noisy and easily agitated world, the art of non-reaction is the silent strength that helps you rise above unnecessary conflicts and maintain inner peace. Have you ever noticed that truly strong individuals, resilient leaders, rarely react hastily to criticism or provocation? They don't let anger take control because they understand a simple truth: those who control their reactions control their lives. Stoicism has long emphasized the importance of calmness and inner discipline. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." When someone offends you, it only holds power if you allow it. Non-reaction is not avoidance. It is a conscious choice to remain serene instead of being drawn into negativity. Today's world seems to be losing patience. We react instantly to a negative comment on social media, a complaint from a colleague, or even an unfriendly glance from a stranger. But think about it. Every time you react impulsively, you are giving power to others. When someone can make you angry, it means they control your emotions. However, if you stay calm, you hold power not just over the situation but over your entire life. Imagine a boxer in the ring. If he reacts to every feint from his opponent, he will quickly exhaust himself. But if he observes, controls his breathing, and strikes only when necessary, he wins through wisdom rather than emotion. Life is the same. Choosing not to react immediately allows you to stay in control and use your energy wisely. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to practice the art of non-reaction is to slow down and observe. Instead of reacting right away, take a moment to step back, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, will this matter in 5 minutes, 5 days, or 5 years? This question helps you realize that most situations that provoke anger are often trivial and not worth sacrificing your peace of mind. The Stoics teach, if someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against the accusations, but reply, "You obviously do not know me well, otherwise you would have mentioned even more." This is a profound lesson. When someone judges you, you don't need to prove anything. Your truth and value are not defined by others' words, but by how you respond to them. Think about someone you admire for their composure. They do not rush to speak, nor are they swayed by negative circumstances. It is because they understand that reaction is a choice, and they have chosen the higher path. You can do the same. By staying calm in the face of provocation, you create an invisible shield that protects your soul from external negativity. Ultimately, remember that not reacting does not mean weakness. It is a profound wisdom and an admirable strength. Instead of reacting to everything that happens, focus on what truly matters and deserves your energy. The world may be chaotic, but your inner self doesn't have to be. Are you ready to challenge yourself by choosing silence over reaction, tranquility over anger? If so, you've taken a significant step toward becoming the best version of yourself. If you believe that composure is the key to mastering emotions, leave a comment saying non-reaction below. It's not just a reminder, but a commitment to yourself, a commitment to choose peace over anger, wisdom over impulse. But can we take it further? Staying calm in adversity is one thing, but what about forgiveness and generosity? How can we find joy in letting go of resentment and embracing others with an open heart? Join me in the next lesson, where you'll discover that forgiveness not only frees others, but also brings true liberation to yourself. This is the final step to unburdening your soul from invisible weights, allowing you to live a truly light and fulfilling life. Number 7. The freedom of forgiving and giving. Imagine holding a burning coal tightly in your hand, intending to throw it at someone else. Who will get burned first? Holding on to resentment is just like that. It gradually consumes your mind, making you restless, anxious, and slowly stripping away your inner peace. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the key to never being angry with anyone is to learn the art of forgiveness and generosity, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve peace. We often mistake forgiveness as a gift for others, but in reality, it is a gift to ourselves. Forgiveness is an act of releasing yourself from the control of the past, from the old wounds you unknowingly carry. If you let anger dominate your mind, you are giving control to others, to events beyond your influence. Forgiveness is about reclaiming that power. It is the first step towards true freedom. Many people believe that forgiving means weakness, that it allows others to repeat their mistakes. But in Stoicism, forgiveness is a testament to strength. It is not about surrendering, but about making a conscious choice not to let others dictate your mental state. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. I can neither be harmed by any of them, nor become angry with them." This perspective helps us realize that anger is a choice, and forgiveness is the antidote to emotional turmoil. You might wonder, but how can I forgive when someone has hurt me so deeply? The answer lies not in enduring or unconditionally accepting what has happened, but in viewing forgiveness as an act of compassion and wisdom. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or denying the pain, but rather facing it with clarity and objectivity. When you forgive, you are not giving up your dignity or values. Instead, you are freeing your mind from the burden of negative emotions. Forgiveness is a journey that helps you regain balance so that no one and nothing can control your happiness. Because what truly matters is not what happens, but how you choose to respond. Look at the great example of Nelson Mandela, a man who endured 27 years of imprisonment under harsh conditions. He had every reason to hold on to resentment, to hate those who hurt him and his country. Yet when he was freed, he chose forgiveness over revenge. He once said, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." Forgiveness allowed him to transform his personal pain into a powerful force to build a more united and just South Africa. From Mandela's story, we see that forgiveness is not weakness. It is an act of courage to move forward, to break free from the chains of the past. Forgiveness is the only way to liberate ourselves from the invisible shackles of anger and hatred. The same principle applies to generosity, another expression of forgiveness. When you are willing to give without expecting anything in return, you free yourself from expectations and disappointments. Even a small act of giving can bring profound peace to your soul. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, we should give as we would receive, cheerfully, quickly, and without hesitation. Give kindness and compassion without hesitation, because in that very act, you will find lightness and serenity. When you are generous to others, you not only make them feel better, but also enrich your own soul with genuine peace and happiness. Life is an endless flow, and if you cling to the stones of the past, you will never be able to float freely with the current. Forgiving and giving are not easy, but they are the only ways to ensure that you are not drowned by anger. By practicing Stoic principles, you will realize that forgiveness is not just a release for others, but more importantly, a release for yourself. As you walk the path of Stoicism, remember that forgiveness and generosity are not sacrifices, but investments in your long-term happiness. By forgiving, you unburden your heart, and by giving, you enrich the value of life. Let forgiveness become a habit, because each time you do so, you not only erase anger, but also open your heart to love and tranquility. We've just explored the 7 hidden secrets to never getting angry with anyone, a journey into the profound wisdom of Stoicism, where inner strength triumphs over external chaos. From accepting the flow of life, refraining from judging others, to mastering the art of non-reaction, each principle is a powerful reminder that you always have a choice. The world may be filled with challenges, and people may never act the way you expect, but peace lies not in changing them, but in mastering your response. These lessons are more than mere theory. They are a compass guiding you toward a life of serenity, free from the weight of anger. If you found this video valuable but haven't yet clicked like, take a moment to do so now. It's a simple way to help spread these life-changing ideas to more people. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know how these insights resonate with you, or how you've overcome anger in your own life. And if you believe someone you care about could benefit from this, don't hesitate to share this video with them. Lastly, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Even more inspiring content is on its way, ready to accompany you on this journey of self-discovery and inner strength. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.